I think I may have just tested one of the best bang for your buck golf cart battery kits on the market right now. I cannot wait to show you the testing and give you my thoughts. Let's get this battery unboxed. Got a little frame here for the monitoring screen, it appears. Got a nice ratchet strap, terminal screws, terminal covers. This is the cable that goes from the battery to the display. And here's the display right here. Got some documentation here. And then check this out. We got a really nice 120 volt charger. Nice and heavy duty, weatherproof. And you might be able to see there that it is a 58.4 volt, 18 amp charger. This is the business end, little vent. RS485 for the screen connection right there. And then the master on-off button here. So it's a 51.2 volt, 150 amp hour battery with a 200 amp BMS. Surge rating 1000 amps for 3 to 5 seconds. That is a lot of current. And yes, be aware it is very heavy, 119 pounds. I plugged the monitoring screen in. You can see we have our state of charge, current going in or out, current voltage, current temperature, estimated time to empty, it says. And then this is a touch screen, so we go to page 2. We can toggle the charge and discharge MOSFETs off and on. We have a cycle counter, rating in amp hours, any kind of error or problem, max and minimum temperatures. Page 3 here just has every single individual cell voltage listed. So very basic, but shows you really the information you need to know. Battery capacity test on this Vipboss. We're going to be metering things through the Victron SmartShunt here. A 0.2 C rate of discharge for 150 amp hour battery would be about 30 amps. You can see we're right there. Okay, coming down the home stretch here, 149.9, and there's 150 amp hours right there. So full capacity. Okay, just tripped offline. You can see the voltage is dropping. 152.2 amp hours. So the capacity test just finished on this Vipboss battery. You can see we're at 0% state of charge. It came with this super deluxe charger. Let's see how long it takes for this charger to charge the battery from dead to full. Heavy load testing on the Vipboss. Now I know for sure I don't have enough loads to get this all the way up to 200 amps. I've already got one load running on it, and you can see we're pulling about 38-ish amps. I also have the Victron SmartShunt hooked up still, and it's saying almost 39 amps. Let's add some space heater here, all the way up to high. There's 70 amps, 78. Let's add some heat gun here. 92, 102. There we go. Over 100 amps. This is saying 199. Let's let this run for just a couple of minutes and just make sure this battery can handle it. Okay, it's been a couple minutes. We've been really close to 100 amps that whole time. Fluctuates a little bit as that heating element in the heat gun turns off and on, but the battery hasn't even broken a sweat. Let's try something else here. I've got my EG4 12000 XP, and if I get the angle right, you might be able to see right here, I've got it programmed to 200 amps of charging current. So let's see if we can hit this battery with 200 amps quick. So I do have this set to 200, but it looks like the battery is going to limit its charging to 100 amps, which isn't a bad thing, because we're putting in about 96, even though I'm programmed to be at a full 200. So I'm sorry, you guys, I don't have the capability to pull a full 200 amps from this, but it's at least solid at 100 amps, which for most of us that are going to be building, whole home power backup like this, 100 amps is very typical. Every one of these server rack batteries that you can see right here all have 100 amp BMSs. So the only advantage that having the 200 amp BMS gives you is if you have a very small system and you're trying to supply power to, say, the 12000 XP that can pull 250 amps. So instead of needing to get, 3 server rack batteries to supply that, you could essentially get, one golf cart battery and one server rack battery and minimize your initial startup cost, because combined between those two, you'd be able to output 250 plus amps. Something else I'd like to draw your attention to is the massive size difference between the Vipboss and this other 150 amp hour golf cart battery that I've got right here. Now it's a little tricky to see here on the camera, the exact size difference, but let me put some numbers to it. So at the widest point on this Vipboss, we're basically 20.5 inches long, On this other unit, we are 25¼ inches long. Front to back here, we're like 13 7/8. This one here, we're a little smaller at basically 12 3/4. And then height, including the little handles that protrude right there, we are basically 9 inches. And the height on this one right here is basically 10 inches. So the Vipboss is a little shorter in height, including the little handles that are on the top, as well as significantly shorter left to right here compared to this unit. This is a little wider than this one. Let's open this battery up and take a look inside. Yeah, look at all that goop. It's kind of stretchy. So there is this weather tight seal, which I just broke on my battery. That should prevent moisture and stuff from getting in. Here's the BMS. It does say it's rated for 200 amps here. To me, this looks pretty small for a 200 amp BMS. Now, granted, it is in a large battery, but I have seen larger BMS units in other batteries. That's not to say this isn't good quality or anything. It just appears to be on the smaller side. So on the negative side, we've got 3 8-gauge conductors. I do love seeing this, where the cables go over this sharp piece of metal. They have wrapped the cables in this very strong protective covering, which is good, because in a high vibration environment, in a golf cart or in an RV or something like that, you definitely could get rub-throughs if it wasn't properly protected. These cables are completely suspended off the edge of the metal here. On the positive side, we've got 2 6-gauge conductors, and there's actually physical bus bars that connect to the battery pack. And you can see back here where it jumps from pack to pack, we've got a nice thick jumper bus bar. They did do a little cable management here with a zip tie to kind of bundle up the excess of these wires right here. Most of these are the communication wires that come through here and connect up to the screen. The actual balance leads are these in these nice little wraps, and they just go down to their respective sides of the battery pack for proper balancing. They are using prismatic cells, and they're laying on their sides, so we have terminals facing this side of the battery and terminals facing that side of the battery. And you can't really see too much here, aside from the fact that they are using these straps for compression. I did notice that there is a holder. I don't know if you'll be able to see or not. There is a metal holder down inside there that is towards the bottom that kind of help hold the cells in place. There is a tiny bit of spacing between the end of the cells and the side of the case, and it is insulated. You might be able to see the insulating board there, but not too much space in the event of some kind of direct impact on the side of the battery. And then take note that each cell is spaced with some foam, which is good to see. It appears that both of the temperature sensors are up here on the top of the pack, and one of them is actually stuck to this insulating foam. I believe that is because they put that goopy stuff there, and then before it was dry, they slapped this board on, and it just so happened that when I pulled the board off, it took the temperature sensor with it. Personally, I would like to see, a temperature sensor up here on the top of the pack, and at very least maybe one sent over here on this side, or one down below on this side, just so you have a better reading across the entire pack. But everything was tight. I disconnected these, obviously, but they were tight. Positive is tight. We do have some QC marks here on the bus bars. Is it perfect? Not yet. But boy, have I seen a lot worse. Just for fun, let's test cold temperature charging protection. We are currently charging at 15 amps, just over 15 amps. Go ahead and spray it with a little bit of this. There we go. It locked out. You can see right here, no current. We've got a status where it's turned the charge off. Temperature is rising again here. You can see we're now positive temperature, and it removed the restriction. You can see we've turned charging back on. We're back to normal. You can see our charge current is rising again. So yes, the Vipboss golf cart battery has low temperature charging protection. And in their manual here, it says that there is an app. And here's the Bluetooth app. Obviously state of charge, then all your basic stuff, voltage, amps, power in watts, average voltage, high voltage, low voltage, voltage differential, cycle index. Here you can see the temperature sensor information and the individual cell voltage information. Coming down here to control, once again we were able to toggle the charge and discharge MOSFETs off and on. And auto balance is on by default. There's no way to turn that off. Coming down here to parameter, under basic information, you can change the name of the Bluetooth. Here is the programming on the BMS for different protection states. And it does not look like any of these are adjustable or changeable. Under current settings here, you can see the BMS programming for the current. And once again, none of these are adjustable or changeable. Temperature settings. These are the current programming on the BMS when it comes to temperature. Probably the main one I'd like to see changed would be the low temperature charging protection is currently programmed for -5 degrees Celsius. I would much rather see that set to 0 degrees Celsius, or even better, 1 degree Celsius, and then the low temperature charging recovery set to like 5 degrees Celsius or something like that. Going to capacity voltage. I'm guessing when these voltages are hit, that is what is spurring the display on the app and the screen for what percentage state of charge we're in. And that's the app in a nutshell. Very basic, rudimentary, but certainly gives you the information that you need. Let's talk a little bit about pricing on this battery. Because for what you get, this is one of the best bang for your buck batteries I've tested yet. So at the time of making this video, currently it's selling for $1,349.99 before any coupon codes or anything like that gets applied. Now, whenever you see something over $1,000, everyone always immediately says, that's expensive. But if you think about it for a minute, this pulled full 150 amp hours of capacity. So you're buying a 150 amp hour battery, not a 100 amp hour battery. And then by the time you add things like the included nice display, built-in Bluetooth, and then the two big premium features, the metal enclosure, plus the super deluxe nice battery charger, which everyone underestimates how nice and helpful these battery chargers are to have. This will work out in the rain, so if you need to plug this into like a gas generator or something to top a battery off, even when the weather's bad, you can do that. This will take dirty generator power and clean it up automatically for you. Anyway, this is a very nice value add that is over $100 on its own if you were to just buy it separately. So combining all of that, cost per watt hour, and the nice upgrades, it makes this Vipboss battery one of the cheapest metal enclosure golf cart battery kits that I've ever tested on the channel. So I will have links for it down in the description, as well as any coupon codes I can get to bring the price down even further for you. Don't forget that I'll also have links down there where you can book a one-on-one video consultation with me, submit a guaranteed to be answered question, as well as use my super nice custom YouTube channel search engine where you can search anything I've said in a video or written in a title or description, which can sometimes help you find answers to your questions that I've already addressed in previous videos. So take advantage of all of those resources down in the description. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hype. I want to say a huge thank you to those of you that religiously do those things for me, as well as support the channel. I see you, I recognize you, and I want to tell you all a huge thank you for your continued support and help in growing my small YouTube channel here. I did finally graduate from the micro size YouTube channel. Now I'm just classified as a small YouTube channel. And I couldn't have done any of that without you guys. So thank you, thank you. We've always got more epic content on the horizon, so stay tuned, stay safe, and we'll catch y'all next time.